One day the guy on the buffalo was cruising around through the plain, seen a bear. And the guy thought to himself, I gotta get away from the bear. We're doing Buffalo Trace today. Welcome everybody to the Freedom Hub. It is a great day to be an American, so let's celebrate it by drinking a good quality, only American product, a little bit of Kentucky Straight Bourbon from Buffalo Trace Distillery. Let's see what it's got to offer. Now, Buffalo Trace is a Kentucky Straight Bourbon, so that means a couple things. First of all, in order to be called bourbon, it has to be, number one, made in the United States. So you can't have a Japanese bourbon, you can't have a Scottish bourbon, you can't have an Irish bourbon. You can only have American bourbon. And in order to be a Kentucky Straight Bourbon, it has to be made in Kentucky. But a couple of other things go along with it. So it has to be distilled and aged in Kentucky, and it has to be aged in brand new white oak barrels. So it cannot be in any sort of used barrels, and that is one of the reasons why a lot of the distilleries in Kentucky have their own coopers and make their own barrels out of that new white oak. Another thing with bourbon is it has to be at least 51% corn. The rest is usually made up with rye and barley. So that's your mash bill for you. So Buffalo Trace Bourbon is distilled at the Buffalo Trace Distillery just outside Frankfort, Kentucky. Named after the area of Buffalo Trace, which was named by Daniel Boone, who was hunting buffalo around that area way back in the day when Kentucky was still a territory and not a state. And so they built the distillery there. As you know, there's the Bourbon Trail through Kentucky. And the reason why there are so many distilleries there is because of all of the limestone that exists in the ground there and in the rivers. And the limestone acts as a natural filter to filter out a lot of those impurities that you would find in the water that could affect the taste. So that clean, crystal clear, delicious water of Kentucky goes into every barrel of Kentucky Straight Bourbon. So let's go ahead and take a look. So you can definitely see it's got this really nice, dark, rich color to it. It's gorgeous. Described as being almost copper-like with a golden shine, little flecks of red. As you can see with the bottle next to me, the whiskey in the glass next to it doesn't lighten up a whole lot, which means that it's a really nice, dark, rich color throughout. It's not just based on the volume of the pour. So let's go ahead and give it a smell now. Now, when you want to get those nose notes of your whiskey, you want to breathe in through your nose as well as your mouth. It's actually one of the best ways to really get to taste your food. You taste your food better if you kind of smell it first. You know, you taste first with your eyes, then your nose. So when you do that, the vapors and everything from the whiskey goes in through your sinuses and it hits your tongue in your mouth. So if you got air coming in at the same time through your mouth as well as your nose, you're going to get a lot of that taste right off the bat. You're going to start smelling things that you never smelled before, which can be a very, very good thing when it comes to whiskey. So let's give it a smell. Okay, I'm getting a lot of vanilla, a lot of dark fruit, like black cherries. So with just a little bit of that woodsy, musky kind of smell. Musky in a very, very good way. Like I have a study with many leather-bound books made out of rich mahogany. You know, that kind of woodsy. Very, very nice, very classy. Oh, it's really, really good. Dark cherries and vanilla. This is cherry vanilla all the way, but like black cherries. So like darker and sweeter, not like maraschino, where it's all just sugar, but also not like a regular cherry that would be a little bit sour. This is black cherry. All right, let's give it a little bit of a taste here. Okay, I don't know if you noticed that, but typically, whenever I drink straight alcohol, you know, I learned this kind of the hard way in college, like a lot of you. When you took a shot, you just like take it back as quickly as you could, and it would hit the back of your throat and go right down. And it's like, yeah, I took that like a man. No, not really. I had a very, very bad experience. One of the first times that I had Wild Turkey 101, and I did a shot of it like that. It hit the back of my throat, and my throat didn't know how to react to that, and it fired it right back out. It was up and out as quickly as possible. So what I have learned to do since then is first I take it, and you get that alcohol burn right off the bat. This is 90 proof, and the higher the proof, you know, the less it's going to be watered down, or diluted in any sort of way. So that higher proof, you get a little bit more of everything, which is pretty awesome. But that 90 proof hits you right off the bat, and it's always better have it burn in the mouth, and then it goes away a lot faster. It really does. If it hits your throat and you got that burn going on in your throat, that burn can keep on kind of going the more you breathe in and out. So getting it right up front is really, really important. So it goes away super quick. And then after that, I got brown sugar, more of that vanilla, more of that black cherry, and it finished with a very, very woodsy, rich molasses kind of taste. It was a delicious, delicious bourbon. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try it with a little bit of a mixer. I think because of how deep and rich it is, I'm going to go with probably just a little bit of ginger ale. Should probably lighten it up a good deal. So, it's real simple. Now, I typically like to do like a 50-50 kind of deal. If nothing, a little bit of 60-40. This case, I think, yeah, just a little splash will probably take me to where I want to go. There we go. To freedom. Yep, just enough of a mix where it kills the carbonation, adds the ginger, so you get that ginger vanilla. So it's very, very, very refreshing. Huh. Have a little bit more of that, actually. Delicious. Now, now my drink of choice for a very, very long time It's Jameson and ginger. It was all about Irish whiskey. It was a lot more friendlier, a little bit. It was a great entry kind of whiskey because it's very light and it's very, very sweet. Going into the bourbon and ginger, it keeps that fullness where sometimes the Irish whiskey can be a little thin. The bourbon compensates. It provides a very nice foundation. I would very much like to try this in a mint julep. I really can't think of anything more Kentucky than some Buffalo Trace and a mint julep. Now, if you like Buffalo Trace and you want to graduate up to the next level, they also make Eagle Rare and for your top shelf Blanton's. But for me, this Buffalo Trace is just a little bit higher than your typical bourbons that you see, like Jim Beam, that you see everywhere. So spend a little extra and get something really special. And I think that's going to do it for us as far as Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon. So I want to go ahead and thank all of our first responders, law enforcement, veterans, and active military out there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and go ahead and hit that bell and let freedom ring throughout the land. Thank you.